Hey Dawn, Jackie. Alright, so basically 2 days before my birthday, which is March the 20th, just gone. Well, it's not just gone, that's a little while ago. I was literally addicted to online games. And when I say online games, I'm not talking about adult online games. I'm talking about, like, I was addicted to Marvel Future Fight. And I spent a lot of time playing that game, a lot of time putting time into the game. Playing the game, putting my own money into it just to upgrade my characters and such. And I didn't understand why I'm actually playing the game, apart from the fact I love playing games. I've always liked playing games, whether it's on Xbox 360 or PlayStation 2. You know, the funny thing about games, which most parents probably not aware or are aware or just ignorant, which I will mention, is some games are literally for adults only. It's got adult content in it, like Grand Theft Auto 5. You know, it's got content that young people shouldn't be really seeing, let alone playing, you know. But anyway, I was playing Marvel Future Fight, and it was like 2 days before my birthday. 2 days before my birthday, and I don't know for what reason I might have been online. Let me just go back to like the whole thing. Addiction is a crazy thing. Everyone has different addictions. People could be addicted to sex, addicted to playing games like I was, addicted to gambling, addicted to drugs, addicted to sweet food, you know, sugary foods, eating unhealthy, addicted to being a nuisance, a public enemy. Or your addiction could actually be you're addicted to your actual passion in what you enjoy doing in life. And you know, whatever your addiction is, some addictions are good and some addictions are bad. Comment and agree if you like what I'm saying, if you agree with what I'm saying or not. So anyway, 2 days before my birthday, I was online on YouTube and I was looking up stuff. But then, like, as I said, I'll pause back on that because I went off on a tangent. But basically, now with an addiction, you have to fund your addiction, don't you? So I literally was playing, I set up a little reward app. There's a reward app, there's a Google reward app for those of you that don't know. And basically what it does is it spies on you, you've got GPS, it will track on where you're going, and it will ask you questions, and for a short little fee, for a short little bit of your time, it will give you some money towards the questions that you answer, from 5p, 50p to £2, depending on the level of the survey. And I didn't really want to be funding my addiction of playing the games online with upgrading my characters in Marvel Future Fight. I would prefer to not be technically spending my money, but money is time and time is money. So therefore I was really spending money, but I was just being ignorant. But a sad thing about this, and why I'm putting this video out there, is a lot of us get distracted from our family life, our you know, and from actual real life with social media. You're communicating on social media. How many times have you actually walked past someone that's on your fan page, your Facebook page, your Instagram page, and you're not even aware of them? You know, I bump into people that I've seen online. They don't recognize me, but I've got a good memory of faces. So anyway, this addiction was so bad that I wasn't even aware that I was neglecting my family. I was literally, and I wasn't intentionally neglecting my family at all. That was not my intentions. But I literally would play the game and I'll get so into the game, I wouldn't want to come off, and there's time limits to keep you into the game, playing the game. You know, I know a lot of people play Candy Crush. I played that for a bit, but because of the type of person that I used to think I was, being addicted to games, I didn't really want to go near Candy Crush. Plus the missus was on a higher level than me, so that really pissed me off, and that is just frustrating me. So I decided I want to play Marvel Future Fight. So I was funding my habit any way possible. Anywhere I could play a little bit of Marvel Future Fight, I'd be all hiding behind corners, literally going out of my way to play the game, not realizing I was an addict, that I was actually addicted to the game. Crazy as it seems. But two days before my birthday, getting into that, this year, I must have stumbled on this recording called, it's basically called A Stranger's Secret by El Nightingale, who paved the way for personal development for what it is today. He's a guy that was basically in America, he was in sales. You need to Google El Nightingale and see what I'm talking about. And it's called A Stranger's Secret. And that there, literally, when I listened to that, it just put me right back on track with where I need to be in life. Now, playing games online and just wasting my life away, allowing myself to just get further into life without actually doing what I enjoy doing. And that's motivating, empowering, inspiring, encouraging, you know, building leaders. You know, that's what I enjoy doing. That is my sole purpose in life. In 2013, if you go back to my last live video, you will hear how I actually just admitted the fact I was homeless, you know. And I'm still working on, I'm building forwards, putting them little steps in place to actually have my own place for my family, buy a place that's actually not privately rented, but actually our place, your own home. A lot of people rely on handouts and stuff, you know, and people just settle for whatever, just settle for this easy life, really. I always say average person earns an average salary. That's my opinion. That's fact, really, at the end of the day. You got celebrities as such, and people wonder why they earn so much money, but look how many people they keep happy. You know, the more people you keep happy, which is aka prosperity, the more you get out of it, the more the earth gives back to you, or God gives to you, if you're a religious person, you know. For those that are listening online, listening live, thank you for your time. As you can see, I'm driving, so I'm not really going to put any time into seeing who's online, but I really do appreciate you actually being there and listening to what I have to say. Usually I make this time while I'm driving to either listen to motivational speeches from various different people, you know, while I listen to some music, you know, just relax, or make a business phone call, you know. But I know they say basically in regards to when you're driving, you should have your eyes on the road and focus. And that's clearly what I'm doing. My hand hasn't left the steering wheel, and I'm focusing on everything I'm doing. And now I'm going to leave the gaming thing alone and talk about the fact when I wasn't driving, I never had a license, and I was literally driving without a license. Now, I'm not encouraging bad habits. By all means, I'm not encouraging bad habits. That is not my intentions. It's only to be focusing on our good habits, continue to make a habit out of your great habits, and knock out your bad habits one by one. You know, that's what I say. Stay positive, productive, and patient, and believe, vision, achieve in God. Make a habit of it. So, just getting back to it now. I was driving literally without a license. It's only like, after a while, my missus brought to my attention the fact I'm driving without a license. She didn't like it. And like, for me, I just don't like following the rules and the regulations. I love to be different from everyone else. And I go out of my way to do things different. Not intentionally, but it's just in my nature. So, you know, that is exactly what I do. That's why from when I was in school, I've called myself a leader, not a follower. And because other people will be doing stuff and following what the others are doing. And for me, if I feel I want to do something, I'm going to do it. Regardless if anyone else isn't doing it, I'm still going to go out of my way to do it. Do whatever it may be. You know, whether it may be an image thing where to dye my hair blonde, as when I was younger, 16, I dyed my hair blonde. That was for carnival. Then others copied and decided to dye their hair too blonde. Some even went as far as to perm their hair. You know, as far as to perm their hair, literally madness. But everyone does a little something to be unique. Well, people used to. Now, the younger generations seem to be just copying each other and not really thinking out of the box or completely revolutionizing stuff in regards to personal style, to technology. Now, there's so much more you young people out there can actually do, but until the older generation and other younger generations actually point you in the right direction or give you some words of encouragement, everyone gets motivated in a different way. I motivate myself every morning as possible, listening to motivational speeches, looking at quotes, writing my own quotes, you know, affirmations as such. So yeah, that is pretty much like regarding the whole thing with the driving now. I was driving without a license, I just had enough, but what, about a year ago now, I had enough. Like, I literally just pictured in my mind, I was like, you know what, fed up of this. Taking a cab is long. Public transport is a nightmare. Sweatbox being squashed up to someone who smells. Not everyone smells, but when it's raining and people smell damp like wet dog, boy, who can relate to that? I'm not even sure if this thing is still recording anyway, but I'll just continue talking. Why not? So, you know, public transport, I've been in some like disputes, you know, looking out for other people, stopping fights and such. There was one time when I went on the tube, this is years back, and I literally got on the train. It was actual overhead train. Not sure where I was going to, but I got on the overhead train. And the guy literally wanted to push me off the train while I was getting on the train. So I literally flipped out, got back in the train, and I was on his face, like, and I like literally lost the plot. I got so angry, like, and the guy couldn't believe it. He didn't expect me to be acting a certain way that I did. I don't act like that now. But like, you know, I'm not perfect at the end of the day. Just like I said, I was driving without a license, you know? But at the end of the day, with the driving thing, I was like, enough is enough. I'm basically gonna get my license. So I started doing my driving. I had a gentleman that basically, the driving instructor was like, I don't know why I attracted him, laws of attraction, but this gentleman now, man, honestly, every time my lessons come up, he would literally run late. And then he would use the excuse of his son. He'll say, oh, my son, I had to take him into school. And I was like, I've been recommended about this for this driving school. David James or something along the lines of that, or something David anyway. I don't recall the exact name of the driving school. But that's not so much relevant. But the fact is, he was flogging me off. And then you know what the worst thing was? When I was sitting in the car, I was thinking, I just want to have my license for my first lesson. He was telling me how he doesn't like learners, and learners progress too quickly and get their license, and he doesn't believe they should be on the road. So I'm now thinking to myself, is this guy for real? Is this guy genuinely for real telling me about how I am not going to be, like, he's the one telling me, he's the one training me to drive, but telling me he doesn't like learner drivers. Am I losing the plot? I was thinking to myself, this guy for real? Because now, not only have you said you don't like learner drivers, you're always late for my lessons. I'm paying you my money, and then you're not even giving me my full lesson because you spoke to me for 10 minutes. So you deducted 10 minutes here. And anytime I make a little error, schoolboy error, or error anyway in driving, you want to pull me over and talk to me for another 5 to 15 minutes. Now, for some people, that'll just put you off altogether, and you just probably just, or you might just be so like, you know what, continue with this guy. I was like, forget this, man. I spoke to the school, asked them if there was anyone else I could have, and they were like, no. So then I started to do my research further in driving instructors, and I came across this gentleman called Femi. Now, first one, we didn't meet eye to eye at all. Like, we literally clashed. We were both like, we would call it alpha males, if that's what you call it. And I was like, I didn't like the way he carried himself and the way he talked. And at first, you should never judge a book by its cover. Now, I explained to him all my experiences of driving and that I do have a license. And unfortunately, when I was driving and that, before, I got myself some obviously bad habits. My first driving instructor, he literally pressed the pedals for me. This is when I was learning when I was 18. He pressed the pedals so much that, because I was learning and I never driven a car before without, that was my first time. I was unaware that he was pressing the pedals and controlling certain things that I thought I was doing, he was literally doing. You know, like applying the brakes slowly or pressing the clutch and changing the gear. He would be doing it with, you know, and because I was so focused on my eyes on the road, I wasn't even aware he was doing such things. So now I spent a lot of money on that, and I just had enough. And then I started to focus on other people that were getting their license. And I started to hate, like, oh, how come they're driving? You know, why are they driving and I'm not driving? Oh, how come my younger cousin's driving? And then I started to think to myself, hold on a second. Didn't my auntie say she was driving without a license? My uncle said he learned without a license. So did my other uncle. Not too sure about my dad, because never really had that great of a relationship with him. You know, but anyway, that's another story. My history. So I was driving without a license for some time. So now I'm explaining this to Femi, and Femi's like, you know what? Honestly, you know, just focus, relax. Be positive, you know, just have faith in yourself. And I was like, oh, is this guy for real? Because like, I literally see myself as a motivational speaker. Like, do all this talking and writing quotes and stuff. And he's telling me like mirroring me. And I'm like, oh, wow. I was like, okay, you sound like me. And I explained a bit about myself. And as time went on, a few lessons, we started to build a rapport. And I said to him, well, how many lessons? Because I'm like someone who really wants to just know the facts straight away. So I said, how many lessons do I need to be doing in order for me to be basically get my license? And he was like, oh, I'm not able to give that. Tell you that. It could be anything. It's not really a figure you can give. Like, it depends on you, on how much you want to have your license and how quick you learn. And I said, okay then. So to cut a long story short, I literally got my license within, I would say, about 5 to 6 months. I went and did my theory and hazard perception, but because of the theory test disc that I had was an old copy, and it was basically a video recording of real people for hazard perception. And for those of you who done it, it was real people. So when I went and booked my theory test and everything, it was an animation, and that threw me off. Because I'm looking now, and I'm like, what the hell is this? This threw me off. Like, it literally just like, oh my gosh, it proper threw me off. So what happened? I failed my hazard perception. I failed the theory test altogether. So I immediately rebooked it. I was like, I had this concept in my mind, like how I say it to you is exactly what I put into principle in my life. Stay positive, productive, and patient, and believe, vision, achieving God. So I had the vision, I believed it, you know, and I achieved it. So basically I went back again, did the test, flied through it, got my hazard perception theory test done. But originally, that would be the 3rd or 4th time I did it, if I'm going to be real. Because when I first did it, there was no hazard perception. And I literally flied through, got all the questions right. Second time, same thing. But then you got a thing where your theory test actually expires after a little while, and you got to do it again. So anyway, I've done that now, and I'm like, okay, I'm ready to do my practical. Now, in my mind, I'm like almost ready to do my practical. But one of my things that I didn't like to do is the major roundabouts. I was like, I didn't really know my position. I didn't know the middle lane is supposed to be for coaches and lorries, which my missus just reminded me recently. But at the same time, I was like, okay, I'm just going to go for it. But he was like, yeah, you're ready. You're ready. You're ready, Andrew. You're ready. Or Jermaine, as others know me as. And I'm like, okay, are you sure? He said, yeah, book it. So I was like, okay. Now, I could go around telling everyone, publicize it on Facebook, put it on Instagram, tell my family and friends. But you know what I did? I didn't tell no one what I was doing. And this is something that you can put into your life. If you're going to do something and you've got some big goals that you want to dreams that you want to turn into a goal, and it's all formalized and everything's put into place, don't tell no one. Don't tell no one until it's almost ready, when you know it's actually, when it's just getting there, or you've completed it and you've actually done your goal, you've aimed at your goal and you've scored. Then you can open your mouth and talk about it. But until then, keep it to yourself, keep pushing, you know, keep focused, stay positive, and just keep on talking to like-minded people. Have the same type of people in your circle, you know, have them in your circle. Because now I'm going to say it like this, I've been around all types of people. I've been around the boffins, the nerds, the ones that basically have their heads screwed on, you know. But at the same time, what I've noticed through life, my life experiences, is the type of people you're around really does have an effect on who you are as a person. Not only that, it has a big effect on your pocket or what your income, you know. Now I've been around people that sell that have been pushing drugs, that have their own businesses, and at that point in time there, I noticed that my income that was coming in was a decent income. I had multiple streams of income coming in from different stuff that I was doing, you know, from full-time job, or full-time I was doing modeling, I was sampling drinks, I was doing nightclub promotion, I was doing so many different things. And I was getting income streaming in from it, from online media to managing people's, managing artists to, what else was I doing? And then way before then, when I was like around people that were literally selling drugs. Instead of selling drugs, like I said, I'm a leader, not a follower, and to a certain degree. Obviously I was following someone, but in a sense, when I was doing that, I was only selling counterfeit goods, you know. And then after that, I had enough. Like, I was like, I don't really want to be getting arrested. I was selling DVDs as well, you know, before you had online streaming and that. I was selling DVDs, pirate DVDs. I couldn't imagine how people were selling videos back in the day and lugging those around. But I literally was selling DVDs on the street corner, North London, Tottenham, originally my background, where I grew up. So I was just walking around with that, trainers as well, I had it all. And then I decided, you know what, I want to make this a bit more legit. So I started selling online merchandise, basically. Well, I wasn't selling stuff, online merchandise as such, as I was selling like web platform packages. And I was also realized that there was a niche in the market for like memory cards, because memory cards weren't big at that point, especially 1 gig. You're lucky to get like a minimum couple gigs, 50 gigs. This is what I'm talking about. The year I'm actually referring to is 2003, between 2002 to between 2004. I was basically selling like digital cameras, and from eBay. I used to buy them offline on eBay and sell them on. So I'll buy it for like a what? 50, say about £5, and sell it for 50. So here's an example. You know, some of the memory cards were like about £5-6, and I'll sell it for 30. You know, I'll just bump it up a bit, and because I knew no one else could get it, and I knew it was worth a lot more, like in Argos, I would just underline Argos and all the other little competitors. And that time there was no mobile phone shops, little shops on the corner outside other shops as such, you know, with the little mobile phone shops you've got now, where they sell phone cases and some dodgy phones, or some of them are not so dodgy, you know. But basically where I'm getting with this is that with the whole thing, like your mind, when you're like with the whole driving, I didn't say nothing. Just going back to the driving and all that, nothing was said on that. I didn't say nothing to my missus. And then when I had my license, the first person to know was my daughter. She's only what? How old was she at the time? She was not old enough to talk. She was only a couple of months. She was like about 6 months. Yeah, about 4 or 5. Now, a lot of people may not be aware of laws of attraction, but it's just like the same laws of gravity and that. And like once you have that mindset proper set into what you want, and you start focusing on it and thinking about it every single day, day in, day out, keep on reminding yourself what you're. Once you have your focus, like I lost signal, obviously, because I'm driving. Signal definitely never great, but there's great signal on the underground apparently, but as I'm driving in the trees and that, it's blocking the signal. Okay. 2017 and still not able to get a solid signal. What's going on? But anyway, now everything I put into play that in my life, if it doesn't work for me, why am I gonna go start talking about it for other people? You know, I don't see the concept of it. It's not benefiting me to lie to you, because it ain't gonna work out well for me in the long run. It will come back to me full circle, you know. So what I'm gonna say on this one, I'm gonna leave this video for now. I'm gonna say this the same thing I always say: continue to make a habit out of your great habits, knock out your bad habits one by one, stay positive, productive, and patient, and believe, vision, achieving God, and make a habit. 1.